Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching the Today I Found Out YouTube channel, and in the video today you're going to learn the incredible story of Al Capone's brother. Let's get started.
Al and his brother. James Vincenzo Capone, born in 1892, was 7 years old when his infamous brother, Al Capone, was born. Growing up in Brooklyn, James felt like the city life didn't suit him and decided to head out west. As such, he left the family at the age of 16 to join the circus in 1908. Losing touch with his family, he travelled throughout the Midwest by giving the name Richard Hart, choosing to keep people from knowing about his Italian heritage. Instead, he preferred people to think he was Mexican or Native American. During this early period in his life, he became fascinated with guns and would spend countless hours shooting bottles and cans, soon becoming an expert marksman. After World War I, he told people he had developed this skill serving in the infantry in France. He also said that he rose to the rank of lieutenant and received the Sharpshooter's Medal from General John J. Pershing. However, later in his life, his military service was called into claim by local legionaries who asked for proof of his claims. Being unable to provide any record of actually being a serviceman, his military history is thought to have been made up. He eventually settled in Homer, Nebraska, where he soon became Homer's town marshal for 2 years, followed by 1 year as a state sheriff. Yes, Al Capone's brother was a lawman. Not only that, after his stint as sheriff, he chose to seek out more excitement by becoming a Prohibition enforcement officer. It was at this same time that his brother, Al, was rising in fame as a gangster in Chicago, particularly known for illegal smuggling of liquor. Mr. Hart led countless raids that ended in numerous arrests and convictions. He soon became famous for his methods in which he used disguises to enter towns undercover to bust local bootleggers. Due to his pair of pearl-handed pistols and his ability as a marksman, the papers began calling him Two-Gun Hart after several sensational arrests. As his fame grew, he was hired by the US Indian Service, where he soon developed a reputation of brutality among the natives. In one incident, he killed a local Native American in a fight. After his arrest, it came to light that the Native American was a bootlegger, so all charges were dropped. Two-Gun did not escape the crime scot-free though. The murdered native's family, seeking retribution, attempted to kill Hart. They were not successful, but did manage to take one of his eyes. After several more such incidents, Two-Gun's reputation was tarnished and he ended up almost blind and broke. Unable to handle his bills and facing the prospect of being penniless, Hart chose to reach out to his wealthy brother in Chicago. Initially refusing to tell his wife and children where he was going, Hart went to Chicago, returning with a new suit and a roll of $100 bills. Finally, after one trip in which he went to visit his mother, he revealed to his wife that his brother was Al Capone. In 1946, near the end of Al Capone's life, Hart allowed his son Harry to go with him to see a Capone family cabin. There, Harry was able to meet his famous uncle. Capone, who at the time was suffering from complications of syphilis, had been released from his incarceration in Alcatraz and did not have much of his memory intact. Less than a year later, Al would die on the 25th of January, 1947. In 1952, Richard Hart died of a heart attack at his home in Homer, Nebraska, with his wife and son at his side, attaining fame as a lawman fighting the same criminals his brother Al called peers. Bonus facts. Arguably the most heinous crime attributed to Al Capone was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. On the 14th of February 1929, 7 members of the Bugs Moran mob were lined up against a garage and shot to death by rivals pretending to be police. While Al was in Florida at the time, it was generally thought he was behind the incident. Bonus fact 2. Two-Gun Hart had a bit of his brother Al in him. Although it was never proven, when accepting the position as town marshal, he was given keys to all of the businesses in the town in case he needed to get into them during his nightly patrols. During this time, several businesses routinely found that certain items in their stores would go missing. Bonus fact 3. Hart was a bodyguard for the 30th President of the United States, Calvin Coolidge, during the summer of 1927. Bonus fact 4. Scarface was the most widely known nickname of Al Capone. The scars were given to him during a fight in which he insulted a mobster, Frank Galucio's sister, by telling her, "Honey, you have a nice ass, and I mean that as a compliment." Capone's closest friends called him Snorky. Bonus fact 5. Before Al Capone was transferred to Alcatraz, he was at the US Penitentiary in Atlanta, Georgia. He was said to live like a king because he always had more socks, bedsheets, and underwear than the other prisoners. This was made possible because he had hollowed out the handle of his tennis racket and hidden several $1,000s in it, with which he used to purchase the bounty from others in the clink. So I really hope you liked that video, and if you did like it, click like below and leave us a comment to let us know what you think. And also check out a couple of our other videos, which are linked to on the screen now, and don't forget to subscribe for brand new videos every day. Thanks for watching.